All right, I should be live. Welcome everybody to today's live. Let me know if you can see me and hear me. This is my first time going live inside the Facebook group on my own. But today we have a really cool training for you. It's Go High Level training, tech stack, workflow automation, and follow-up. If you don't know who I am, if you're new here live on Facebook, or if you are catching this on YouTube, my name is Nina Brennan. I'm co-founder of Scaling Lean. Every week we go live at 11 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. Today I'm missing my counterpart and my business partner, Jonathan Floransky. He's out on vacation out in North Carolina. So anyway, today we're going to be focusing on one of the most powerful aspects of Go High Level, connecting your entire tech stack to create seamless workflow automation and follow-up systems. But before we dive in, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what inspired this training and also a little bit of the backstory that led us here to why we're going to be releasing trainings like this going forward. So I'm from Colorado, or I'm living in Colorado, and I'm currently working with a local business who is a catering company and a private chef. And we built a end-to-end custom CRM marketing system for this business. And I kind of realized, like, starting from the ground up, a business making about 200 plus $250,000 a year, the systems and the automations and the just technology stack that they had in place was pretty aggressive. And it's not a story that's new. That was very similar to us when we first started our business. But before we dive in, let's talk about why this matters. A lean tech stack, automation, workflow automation, and follow-up matters inside of business. The average business uses 12 to 25 different software tools inside of business. And I'm talking about a business that's anywhere from $250,000 a year upward of $1 million per year. And teams waste up to 20 hours per week on manual data transfers between these systems. So I'm talking about like connecting emails, connecting SMS, etc. And 73% of leads never receive proper follow-up due to process gaps. So there's lead drop off inside of the CRM system. There are misfiring forms. There's not proper tracking, etc. And there's also inconsistent follow-up, which is the number one reason why sales opportunities are lost. And I mean, when we first started our business, I'm not going to lie, we were using over 10 software systems strapped together with what felt like Elmer's glue. I mean, every software I thought we needed was just another one strapped into our tech stack. We had our CRM, which was Pipedrive. We had for broadcast email and automation, we had ActiveCampaign. For our forms and surveys, we were using JotForm. For SMS and calling, we were using Twilio. We were using ClickFunnels for our funnels in our website. Obviously, we were using Zoom. We still use Zoom. We were using Calendly for calendar bookings, and the list goes on. I can go on. We were using ManyChat and Zapier. And with all of these softwares that we had in place, we still had manual actions and also broken processes that were nonstop fires that we had to pull out. So my goal for the end of this session is for you to have a clear roadmap for connecting your tech stack within Go High Level and eliminating these inefficiencies that I just mentioned, as well as ensuring opportunities do not fall through the cracks. So this is a way for you to increase your pipeline, connect with more leads inside of your ecosystem, and close more deals. So let's talk a little bit about mapping your ecosystem. So before we even open Go High Level, or what we call Conversion Pro here at Scaling Lean, let's not even touch the software system until we talk about your tech stack. And what I just did above of listing everything that we had in place before we migrated the majority of stuff over to Conversion Pro was we mapped out what we were using each of the softwares for, how much they costed us per month, and how much we were paying on our tech stack, and how much we were actually not using inside of each of the systems that we had in place. So let's get started with that. So there's lead generation tools. So ad platforms like Facebook and Google. You have landing page builders. So I don't care if you're using WordPress, you're using ClickFunnels, you're using I think it's called OneHub. That's a famous one right now. If you're using Squarespace, if you're using Go High Level, write them down. Webinar event tools, write those down. Write down all of your communication tools, email providers, SMS service providers, phone systems, etc. I know there's a lot of people in the real estate space that are using triple line dialers. There's a lot of people that are using the blue text system right now that are coming out. Write them all down because they all integrate with Go High Level. And transaction tools. So here at Scaling Lean, we use Stripe. but there's different payment processors out there that you could be using. I know one of our clients, she uses Teachable to still collect payments. Scheduling system. So this is going to be your calendars. Obviously, there's calendars inside of GoHighLevel, but there's also calendars like Acuity and Calendly. And then any e-commerce platforms that you're using to list your digital products, services, etc., write those down as well. And then there's lastly the delivery tools. So these are like membership platforms like Kajabi, or you could be using GoHighLevel or Teachable or Udemy. Udemy, I think that's how you say it. Learning management systems, and of course, fulfillment software. So this is contracts and anything like that. So write everything down that you're using because it's really good to get a familiarity of like what you are using and how they're connecting with the system. And if there are places of drop off and broken processes inside of your system. So the next thing I want to do is we're not going to go into a deep dive of integrations inside of GoHighLevel of how to do it because it's pretty self-explanatory. So let me share my screen. All right. Here you see it. We're inside of Conversion Pro, also known as GoHighLevel. We white label our processes. We have one-on-one onboarding with our tech team. So if you are someone who's inside of GoHighLevel and you feel like you aren't getting the full functionality to the platform, let us know. We'll migrate you over to Conversion Pro. It's the same price as GoHighLevel. It's $97 a month. You get one-on-one tech support. You get unlimited tickets and tech support in that capacity. And you have us holding your hands through the process of building and setting it up. So let's migrate over to setting up core integrations. But before I get into that, I want to talk about why we actually chose GoHighLevel. I know that a lot of people in the space are talking about GoHighLevel, using GoHighLevel, but they're not getting a lot of the benefits from it by using it. So we've been able to take that entire tech stack that I talked about before, from email marketing, SMS marketing, forms, calendars, full integration, tracking of our ads, etc., and consolidate it into one platform. And we were able to replace appointment booking, landing pages, etc., and everything is tracked from end to end. So we're big on knowing our numbers, knowing the conversion metrics, seeing where there's drop off in the processes. And because it's all connected into one system, even if we are using outside integrations, we're bringing all the information, all the data into one system where we're able to see how leads navigate through our ecosystem, from what they're clicking on, how much they're interacting, the things that they're opening, things that they're responding to. And because of the way that we have, and we're going to talk about it later in this training, but the way that we have our leads tracked, we're able to see how interactive people are and how likely they are to buy. So this is really getting a handle on your customer journey. And I know that I'm talking about a lot of tech stacks and talking about integrations and whatnot here, which is like sometimes scary to a lot of people that own a small business and they don't feel too tech savvy. But the end goal is to understand how buyers or how leads are navigating through your system in order to become buyers, and cutting out any of the stuff that's not working and going deeper with the stuff that is working. It saves time, it's more efficient, it's less overhead, etc. And that's what the whole goal of this entire training is. So now let's go up to setting up core integrations. So let's go into, this is going to be your dashboard. So I have like just a plain snapshot. This is not anything that we've ever built in before. If you do have a very blank looking GoHighLevel account that looks like this, and you're looking to get the full features of it, I would highly suggest migrating over to Conversion Pro, because our team's going to help you not only import our 7-figure snapshot into your ecosystem for the same price of GoHighLevel, but what you're also going to get is they'll help you connect your domain, connect your email, connect your phone numbers, and make sure that everything is compliant, which is super crucial in order to make sure that SMSs are firing, emails are getting delivered, and you do not get blacklisted with your domain. So if you do want that, all you have to do is hashtag Conversion Pro below, and I will happily send you the link to not only the Conversion Pro 30-day free trial, but also our one-on-one onboarding link with our tech team. All right, let's hop back into GoHighLevel. So what we're going to do is we are going to talk about the 3 different types of integrations that you can do. So number 1 is native integration. So we're going to migrate over down to settings. And then there's a beautiful little button on the left-hand side over here that says integrations. And as you can see, These are very basic integrations like Google Calendar that's going to help you connect your calendar, do two-way syncing, etc., where not only you can see it populate onto your Google Calendar, but your customer, client, prospect, or whoever books a call with you can also see it and get appointment reminders. You can connect your locations Google account. So this would be really great if you're a local business, whether you're a home business, service business. I don't even care if you're selling pants. I don't, whatever. If you are a local business, it's really great to connect your local business here because you could actually automate reviews. Take your Google reviews and showcase them inside of GoHighLevel and use them in SMS and email. Another thing is you want to auto sync your Facebook page, which is going to be your business page. It's going to be where you're going to be running ads, as well as your Instagram. So the cool thing about this is if you connect your Instagram and your Facebook, you can actually communicate inside of the tool, GoHighLevel itself, Conversion Pro, etc. This makes it where me personally, some days I don't want to have Facebook or Instagram on my phone, delete the apps, don't have to see them, don't have to see the notifications because everything I could just check inside of Conversion Pro. QuickBooks, that's really great if obviously you're inside of like organizing your finances, make sure that's connected. We use Stripe, obviously, as I mentioned before. There's other platforms like Square and I forget the payment processor, but shout out to Andrew Furman. He has one there as well. But you can connect Stripe very seamlessly. All you have to do is plug it in. I think there's a two-factor authentication code, and boom, you're set up. If you're an e-commerce store, you could also implement Shopify or connect Shopify, excuse me. We're big Slack users here at Scaling Lean. So we connect our Slack. It's really cool because if somebody books a call, if somebody cancels a call, if somebody fills out an application, there's a lot of simple ways to just centralize all of the data inside of Slack where, call recordings could get automatically populated, etc. So we definitely highly suggest using Slack as a communication pathway with your team, as well as organizing the things that are outside of GoHighLevel into one centralized hub. But you can go through here, you could see there's just a couple of more like WooCommerce, WhatsApp, Printful, etc. if you are looking to integrate on platform. So these are called the native integrations. But there's two other ways to actually integrate things inside of GoHighLevel. And what I see is a lot of times there's like outside lead sources. So I'm just going to bring a perfect example of like the other two ways to connect things inside of GoHighLevel and bring data inside of GoHighLevel are through webhook connections and API connections. So I'm talking about through like make.com and or Zapier. We use Zapier like no one's business. I think we have like 50 plus apps set up right now, bringing outside data inside of GoHighLevel through webhook connections, excuse me. And something that we just set up for this local business that I was talking about before, the catering business and the personal chef business is they're not traditionally doing Facebook ads right off the bat. That's something for retargeting, as well as Google. But what they do is they use different websites for outside lead sources, third-party integrations like Bark, Thumbtack, Wedding Wire, Zoho, one of those. I forget the last one. I'm not in that domain yet. But those are the ones that they're using to get like leads into their system, and they have to buy leads. So we had to set up different Zapier integrations. And what they were able to do is we were able to grab the little webhook, connect it to Lead Connector, which is like how leads are brought inside of GoHighLevel. And it was able to extract their phone number, their email, and their first and last name. So then when that came in and we set up which we're going to talk about, where you set up triggers inside of GoHighLevel/Conversion Pro, it was able to trigger the different workflows, even though we had to go through that process of grabbing the data through a webhook. If you are watching this, let me know if you're still with me. I see that there's two people on here. It's really great to see you guys here. I know I'm going a little bit in depth. I'm going to make a training that goes into how we actually set this up as well, but I want to just bring over this like 360-foot overview of like how we're looking at it and why we're connecting the things that we are connecting. All right. So next, a couple of check marks before we get into diving into workflows and automations and everything like that. Email and calendar integrations. So this is super important if you do decide to bring everything inside of GoHighLevel. Just to make sure that everything is set up correctly, where you have all the data with it being like automatically set up. So number one is to connect your email provider. As I walked through before, like we use Google Calendar, Google Drive for everything, but there's also ways that you can connect like Microsoft Calendar, Apple Calendar, etc. But all you have to do is click email integration, select your provider, hit Gmail, Outlook, Apple, etc. And then all you have to do is follow the authentication steps and configure sending limits and delivery settings. So what I mean by that is there's just like little buttons that you click, boom, and it swipes left or right to turn on or off. Make sure that everything is turned on, two-way syncing. Like I said before, you want it to be able to hit your calendar and someone else's calendar, the person that's at the booked call with you. Um, Set up calendar syncing. We just talked about that. Payment processor and integration. So go over and navigate to payment and then payment integrations. All you have to do is select your processor. So you could connect Stripe or PayPal. And I know there's different ways to connect different payment processors like Square, etc. Complete the authentication flow. So you want to also set up webhooks for these, which is like successful payments, failed payments, subscription events, refund events. And the reason that we're going to be doing that is because we actually can set up trigger links inside of our automation, where if there is like a successful payment, it's going to obviously push people through the workflow. If there's failed payments, we're going to push them through a different workflow of like reminders or, let you know that there's a failed payment or let your customer know that there's a failed payment and something needs to be addressed. Subscription events. So say somebody has like a 6-month subscription and then their subscription is timing out. The webhook is going to give the data that is needed in order to let you and or client know that their subscription is almost up. For your side, you're going to be able to upsell them, downsell them, resell them, etc. For them, they're going to know that there's a limited time inside of the subscription. And then, of course, refund events. So I know we all hate it. Sometimes it happens. People request refunds, etc. We're going to make sure that there's going to be webhooks set up inside of there to number one, protect you, and also number two, just let you know what's going on inside of your business. The whole idea behind GoHighLevel, and I just want to put this here, or just having a system that's like a full end-to-end marketing system and the power behind it is it gives you all of the data and the information and it communicates with you of what is going on inside of your business. So it helps you not only become the data operator, but it also just gives you the power and confidence to navigate your business and operate your business like a real business owner. Um, you get to see everything that's going on. You get to have your thumb on everything that's going on. Even if you have people in place, systems in place, processes in place, it's always good to just know what's going on so you have the power to make the decisions that you need to make. All right. I know that we talked a little bit about the different things that you could integrate here. So make sure you set that up before we move forward. I kind of just went on the hinge with this, guys, so excuse me. I usually don't go live by myself, so it's a little painful on my end as well. Um, all right, so let's talk a little bit about where should we go from here? Building automated workflows. So I know that we just talked about integrations and Zapier and Make.com and then custom integrations that are inside of here and the native integrations that you could bring inside of here. And the reason that we do that is because the most important thing inside of this entire training that I could say is building automated workflows and knowing what's actually going on inside of your system. So we're going to navigate over to scaling lean over here. And I'm going to break down a funnel as to why what I just talked about is so important. We're just going to walk through this funnel here. Okay. So when people talk about funnels now, so I know that we talk about integrations, we're talking about tracking, and now we're going to be talking about funnels. And I promise you it's going to make a lot of sense as to why I laid out this training the way that I did. So a lot of times when people talk about funnels, they only talk about funnel pages and then maybe simple automations on the back end that are sending out SMS and email workflows. But this is the problem. Whenever I go inside of businesses like that have a preset GoHighLevel account or a HubSpot account, or they're using Salesforce or whatever, and I do an audit, things are messy, things are misfiring, there's breakage inside of the system. The sales and marketing and client success like they're acting as individual silos rather than integrating seamlessly all as one. So that's the whole power of what we're building here at Scaling Lean is making sure that all of the systems and processes connect seamlessly. So there's handoff points through automated systems inside of your business, whether it is sales to marketing, marketing to client success to offboarding, client success to upselling, etc. You want to make sure that your automation is not confusing your prospects and even worse, confusing your buyers that could become lifetime customers, of course. So that's what I want to talk about here is a little bit of the back end of like in real time, what we have built just on one funnel of how we set up the automations on the back end, how we remove people from workflows, how we have specific forms and surveys in place, and how we set up the opportunities tab so we know how to communicate to the people. If you guys have any questions about this, because I know that I'm going pretty in depth with it, let me know in the comments. I will do a Q&A at the end if you guys have any questions. I'll even offer an audit of your processes and systems if that's something that you're interested in. But yeah, so getting back to the screen here. So just as a quick little, I guess, visualization, we'll just file, we'll edit this so you can see what's going on and see the thought process behind the funnel that we have built. So this is a low ticket funnel. Excuse me. So this is a low ticket funnel that ascends people. So it's low ticket with a bump sell, with an upsell, with a downsell to a calendar. So it's, I believe, 5 offers I just said. There's 5 offers inside of this one funnel, 5 or 6 different funnel pages, etc., funnel steps. And there's multiple workflows behind it and multiple forms in place. So let's go through it. All right. So number one, first and foremost, this is our landing page. We're running this from a cold traffic perspective, and we're seeing really good conversion rates on it. But people were also asking for it from an organic standpoint because we made a test offer inside of email and we made a test offer inside of social media. So it was like we just made like a test offer inside of our community. You might have seen it. So a couple of important things here. Great. This is the landing page, basic landing page that people see, right? What happens is when you click on this, it's going to open a pop-up. Open pop-up, as you can see here. And then you can go navigate over to the pop-up and you can see that there's a form here. And if you look at this form here, it says low ticket ad opt-in. So the page that I'm on right now is the page that people land on from cold traffic specifically. And this is important because it requires 2 different forms, whether it's coming from organic or it's coming from paid. And this is in order on the back end of the workflow. When somebody submits a form, you want to make sure you know where people are coming from. And I'll walk you through the workflows of how we have it set up, excuse me. But very simply is if somebody comes through paid low ticket ad opt-in, they're going to get tagged as a low ticket ad opt-in. If someone's coming through organic, but they're coming through the same funnel, they're submitting a different form and it's going to be tagged and tracked as an organic low ticket opt-in. And this right here is really great in terms of that segmentation that we always talk about here at Scaling Lean, knowing where leads are coming from, knowing how to attribute your data correctly, knowing what to lean into more based on the metrics and the, tracking you have in place. This is simple tracking. It's simple tagging inside of the system, right? All right, so that's page number 1. So that is your first form, and there's 2 forms for one process, right? So let's go to the next page. So here's an order form. So a couple of things that need to be done on this page. So if you are here and you want to create a page like this that has like a bump sell and it has products, obviously you have to go over to, I think it's payments and then products. I'm not going to pull it up now, but you have to create a product for each of the funnel pages that you're putting in place, or you have to have a global product already created. But what you're going to have to do before you could even put this is products, and you have to add your products here. So as you can see, I have a $27 product, and then I have my quote bump because there's an option to add a bump. You have to add the products inside of here if you're going to be putting them on the page on the order form. So let's go back to the page. Awesome. So we're here. This is as you can see, a order form. So this is a 1-step order form, I believe. Let me make sure. Yeah, it's a 1-step order form. And it has a little bump sell option in place. So if I click on this, 1-step order, I was correct. Let's go. And then down here, we had make sure that the action matches what we want it to do. So that's super crucial inside of the funnel is making sure that things fire in the right place in the right direction. But this is going to go to the next step. And we have our bump sell in place. Great. So then our next page, we have our upsell. So no matter what, if somebody purchases our product, 27 or $44 order, if they take the bump sell, they're going to come to this page here. You don't have to read the copy. It's pretty standard copy. It's a pretty great copy if you ask me, with case studies, testimonials in place. And it just leads to a one-click upsell. Boom, here. And this is super crucial as well. So a lot of the steps, so the first page and the second page both had, or the forums, I should say, had go to next step as the action, or we had to connect it just to the next page. Whereas with this one, if they click yes, upgrade my order, we have to, it's a one-click upsell, so it automatically gets added to cart. And then it should send them over to our, not the next page, but the page after that. So we had to make sure that it redirected correctly to that next page. And then if they click on this, no thanks, I already have support and growing my business, it sends them to the downsell page. So those are the two options on this page that they can navigate next into the funnel. And stay with me because this is super crucial, right? So here's the downsell. So if someone said, heck no, I don't want to join your community for $97, it's like, great. Special offer. This is only through our cold traffic funnel, right? So this is a special offer for our $97 community to actually be just $49 a month. If they act now, only on this page is the only time they're ever going to see it. And that is true. We don't offer a $49 community access anywhere else, whether it's organic or paid. It's only through this low ticket paid funnel. And same thing here. One click order, and then no thanks, I'll pass on my next chance for this special pricing. How I have it set up is crucial because every single step that these buyers take inside of this funnel, it actually populates different opportunities inside of GoHighLevel Conversion Pro. And I'll show you exactly what I mean by that. And then the whole incentive of this entire funnel is to get basically free leads on the calendar. So what we have here, just if you guys are looking to build a kick-ass funnel that we have in place, we're also selling it. So let me know, just drop hashtag 27 and we'll send over the entire funnel process for you for just $27. But yeah, that's what our whole incentive is to get leads to pay and then book a call on the calendar. So we basically have free calls coming in where we then can sell either one-to-many or one-to-one, right? So that's the funnel here. Case studies, testimonials, etc. And then the next page is just a registration thank you. And it's like a quick little 90-second video. And then it's like join our Facebook community, which again is more social proof. Sorry about the slowness. All right. So let's talk about the workflows behind it, because this is where a lot of times things get messy, is the different tagging metrics and the different people don't remove their context from workflows, and people don't have the right triggers in order to move the workflows in place, right? So let's just go briefly inside of low ticket 5-minute webinar funnel. So we just launched this a couple of days ago. It's pretty rock solid. We did the very similar thing with the content matrix. Low ticket is a very cool way to just, get calls on the calendar, as I said before. But there's different workflows in place over here. So as you can see, we have pretty high conversion for people coming in to the pipeline. So people clicking on our ad and giving them our information in that pop-up that we talked about, to converting into an actual buyer, which is a $27 or $44 purchase event. So what we do is if somebody gives us their information but they don't buy, they're going to get a sequence. And this is before we were talking about integrations, right? So if you have ActiveCampaign, MailChimp, Mailgun, etc., I personally think that if you are over 1,000 subscribers and you're inside of GoHighLevel, or over 1,500 subscribers, it's actually more cost effective to move over to a platform like ActiveCampaign. I personally have been using ActiveCampaign since 2021. They have a lot of amazing development, and it really integrates seamlessly with GoHighLevel with simple Zapier webhooks. You just have to take the webhook from GoHighLevel, put it inside of Zapier, and it just automatically adds them to the workflow that you connected to. Awesome. So quick trigger link. Somebody submits a form, and this one is for the ads opt-in. So this is specifically for people coming through paid ads. Remember before I talked about the two different forms inside of coming into the funnel, right? So if somebody comes from organic, it has to be form submitted for organic. If somebody's coming in from paid ads, it has to be form submitted from paid ads. And the reason is number one, we want to make sure that we're tracking the conversions correctly where people are coming from, but also we want to make sure that if somebody submits a form, it's a low ticket form here, and they're getting the proper email cadence based on paid advertising. They don't know who we are coming from paid, whereas more so organic, more or less, they've been following you for a while. They've been interacting with your content. They're finally people that are raising their hands. So it's a little bit of a different nurture process on the back end. As you can see there, I have the emails and the SMS separate. So this is more so where we do all the tracking. So we make sure that we have a spreadsheet that collects all of our data. It's on our master tracking sheet. If you want access to the master tracking sheet, it collects everything from, I don't know, booked calls to leads generated from ads to DM tracking. So it's very, very good if you're looking to get a full picture of what's going on inside of your business from a conversion standpoint. Then, of course, we have it where it's tagged, ad opt-in, low ticket opt-in. And then we have our Facebook API events set up. So this is through pixel tracking. We're not going to get into it right now, but it's very important to understand how your pixel is firing on each of the pages and how it's collecting the data here. So this is like a Facebook API conversion. It's going to fire the pixel and it's going to give attribution to the fact that it's a lead, not a purchase, not just a page view. So there's different attributions. There's page view, there's leads, there's add to cart, there's abandoned cart, there's purchase, etc. So we're just making sure that the data is attributed correctly through our pixel, showing Facebook when we're running ads that this is a good campaign that we're running because people are buying, people are becoming leads, etc. Excuse me. All right, then just simple, we send an SMS, we send another SMS, we have positive intent, etc. If you want to go deeper into workflows, just let me know. It's another training that we will put out. Just hashtag workflow below and we'll put out a training. I'll make sure that you get it when we put it out. Awesome. So next, so if somebody does come in from a paid ad campaign, right? This is a super crucial process. Is if somebody is coming in and they buy the 5-minute webinar funnel, as you can see, 15 out of 21 people so far have bought. So 21 people have given us their information from just paid traffic alone. From paid traffic, 15%, 50%, 15 people out of 21 have bought. So this is what I was talking about before of making sure that the integrations and the, excuse me, making sure that the integrations, of course, are set up correctly, but also making sure that the attributions are also in place. So when I say that, like the payment received, we're going to make sure that if somebody gives us their credit card information, automatically, they're the ones typing it in. They're the ones that are buying the product and service with us not having to be involved in the process. This is a crucial step that a lot of people miss out on. So when I do the audits inside of the ecosystem, whether doesn't matter what platform they're using, they're getting 50 different workflows because if somebody enters from like an organic standpoint, or they enter the Facebook community, or they enter whatever pipeline, they don't get removed from other pipelines. So as you can see here, if somebody pays, they get taken out of the low ticket ads opt-in email, and they also get taken out of the low ticket ads SMS. So that means they're completely done because those are nurturing sequences that are specifically asking them to move down the funnel to buy. So it's telling our story, it's sending them back to the payment link, etc. So if someone has bought, you don't want them getting these emails and text messages, because if they're getting those emails and text messages and these emails and text messages, it gets, number one, confusing. You get put on D&D, so people want to be on the do not disturb list because you're harassing them. And number three, it's just too much. It's hard for you to manage. Like looking at the CRM, you could see every email and text. You might miss like client or prospect interactions, etc., because there's so much going out and you're missing the inbound messaging. And as you can see here, we have 3 different conditions. So there's the bump, or I'm sorry, there's the payment success and did not buy the bump. So of course, they're not going to get access to the bump sell offer, which was the $17 product that we have out there. Then there's payment success plus bump. So they did get the bomb sell. So they're going to get access to the product and also the bump sell. And then there's payment not successful. So that's if there's a failed payment, like why should we have to go in there and be like, hey, like there's a failed payment? It just automatically lets us know by sending an internal notification. And then it also emails the prospect. Okay. So that's how we have it set up. Awesome. What we also do is if you navigate over here, you could see create or update opportunity. So there's different pipelines, and I'm going to show you why it's so important to keep your pipelines organized or your opportunities tab inside of your pipeline development organized. Because this one right here is creating an opportunity for just segmenting. Again, it's like, okay, these people did not buy the bump sell, these people did buy the bump sell, etc. It kind of shows you their activity and willingness to buy if that's the pipeline that you develop. Sweet. So that's the only really the crucial part that I want to show you is if you are building out multiple workflows behind each of the funnel pages, make sure you're removing people from the automations that were in the previous step. So you're not hitting them with 10 text or 15 emails in 1 week. People don't like that. That's how you get ignored. That's how there's drop off. That's how leads stop trusting you. And that's the hard part. It's like people say that things are over automated. It's because they're not using automation. They're actually abusing the automation and it's too much in place, right? Sweet. This is where it gets interesting. So I know that I was talking about third-party integrations before, where you can connect either API or connect things through webhooks. So you can't connect school inside of like a native connection or a native integration inside of Conversion Pro or GoHighLevel. So what we had to do here, school bundle. So whether somebody paid $97, get 1 month free, or they entered the $49 one, what we had to do inside of Zapier is if there was a payment received inside of our program or inside of our Stripe account, excuse me, for $49 or $97 to this specific product, it would automatically add that person or send an invitation to school. So there's no manual like touch points there. So that's that third party. We had to take the webhook and connect it from the payment processor inside of GoHighLevel, connect it with Zapier, give Zapier the information, and connect Zapier. So it's GoHighLevel connected through Zap through school to send that invite. I know I'm getting a little bit technical here, but these are that simple automated processes that we talk about that just makes a business run so much smoother. And like imagine somebody comes into a program, right? And they buy a $27 product, a $17 product, and a $49 product. Math ain't mathin', but let's see. I think that's 44 plus 49. You're in the 90s there. I think it's 93. I don't have the exact number in my head. I should, I'm sorry. But say somebody buys 3 products from you, and there's number one, they get instant access to the first product. Number two, they get instant access to the second product. But boom, they trusted you to give you $90+ in this first interaction from cold ads, right? And something's not working, or you're delayed to give it to them. That breaks trust. And that's why these automated processes are so important, is when you are setting up, even if you're using third parties like Zapier or Make.com, etc., it's important to have these things locked and bolt. And it's important not to harass people and abuse the automation. So we want to replace the manual touch points with simple integration, automation, excuse me. And we want to make sure that the automation is not getting abused by oversending to the people that trust you with their information. Those are two surefire ways to win. All right. So here you can see again, there's another place of us creating an opportunity, and it says community bundle of 297. So if you go into here, the opportunities, and you see low ticket funnel, very simple to build opportunity pipelines. We have our master pipeline for scheduling calls. We have our registration workshop for low ticket. We have our Facebook pipeline, etc. It keeps things organized and it keeps things in place with proper workflows on the back end. This is fully automated, so Jonathan and I do not have to touch anything here. This automatically gets populated when somebody buys the 5-minute webinar. This automatically moves people over. So people buying the bump sell from the 5-minute webinar. So there's the $27 product here, as you can see. Then there's the $27 product plus the bump sell here. So these are people that bought that. So you could even see the assignment here of 5 opportunities are here. 8 opportunities are here. So as you can see before, 15%, I keep saying that, 15 people from cold traffic have bought our products and services, whether it's low ticket plus bump sell, low ticket plus community bundle, or low ticket plus the downsell, which is the community membership, right? So you can see the attributions here of 5 people have bought just the first product. 8 people have bought the bump sell, which is a pretty damn good conversion. Let's go. Average conversion for a bump sell is about 33%. I think this is 66% if I'm counting correct. And then 2 people actually bought the community. And that's, for some reason, this one's not triggering. I actually have to fix that. So I'm glad that I'm going over this because we actually had, out of the 15 people, 5 people register for the master class. So that's how we're getting calls on the calendar, and that's how we're tracking everything inside of the system. I don't know if you guys are still with me. I see that there's 3 people still here. Let me know if you have any questions, because I just walked through a couple of high-level things inside of GoHighLevel between integrations, third-party integrations, native integrations, building a funnel, building automation on the back of the funnel, proper tagging, proper segmenting, etc. So I know that this was a pretty hefty live training. And I'm gonna drop this on YouTube for replays as well, because I know that right now that they are removing community live videos after 30 days. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to hop on a one-on-one just to answer anything for you. Again, we offer live social media audits, live funnel audits, etc. So if you want to hop on a one-on-one, have me take a look at your funnel and kind of find the bottlenecks in your processes, would love to offer that as well. We are running our community right now. It's only $97 a month. You get hands-on training for ads, GoHighLevel integrations, funnel building, copywriting, etc. And that's all I have for you today. Again, thank you guys for tuning in. I saw that there was a couple of people on for the entire training. Super grateful to have you guys here. Next week, we'll be back normal time, 11 o'clock Mountain Standard Time with both me and JP. It's not just going to be me ranting at you for 45 minutes about tech and integration, but I think this is super crucial because a lot of people are pushing GoHighLevel in the market. There's a lot of affiliates for GoHighLevel, but they're not really teaching the depths and the power of the system. And that's what I want to do here because this is just surface level of this amazing platform that's only $97 a month. We're going to be talking in the future about AI agents and chatbots. We're going to be talking about full end-to-end automation. And like, this is what scaling lean truly is. Scaling lean is understanding that you can use systems, and I have it actually written here. It's a great quote by the author of the E-Myth. It says, "Let the systems run the business and people run the systems." And it's inevitable. Business is going to be run by AI and automation over the next 3 to 5 years. And even just like I mentioned today inside of my post, the World Economic Forum said that 50% of jobs in the next 5 years are going to be overtaken by AI. And 41% of companies are actually looking to downsize. So if you are equipped to automate your processes, build things that are working for you and not against you inside of your business, you're going to be one of those people that are able to scale lean and really develop leverage inside of your business. Okay, now I'm actually ranting, I'm not teaching. So with that being said, we'll see you next week at 11 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. You'll have me and JP back, ripping live as we usually do. And I'll talk to you then.